It is time to connect to Congress, a segment where we talk directly to lawmakers representing us here in the San Joaquin Valley. And right now we're talking with Republican representative of California's 20th Congressional District, Vince Fong, live at the Republican National Convention is where he's coming from, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Good morning, Congressman, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
First, I want to get your overall impression. You're doing something most people only see on TV. They never get a chance to attend a national convention. You're there. What does it feel like at the Republican National Convention?
Well, it's certainly an exciting time. I think there's a lot of focus on the presidential election. I guess the presidential election never really stopped, but with the gravity of the situation that happened over the weekend with the assassination attempt, there's certainly a lot of emotion to this convention compared to others.
And I wanted to ask you, following up on that, since that assassination attempt, have you noticed an increase in security at the convention?
Well, there's certainly always a lot of security. There's actually the Secret Service and Capitol Police here. There are law enforcement agencies from across the country assisting. So it's certainly a very safe place around here in Milwaukee.
Now, last night we heard from the former president's running mate, J.D. Vance. What's your reaction to his speech?
Well, he's certainly an exciting pick. I'm certainly energized that he brings a lot of youth and a dynamic talent to this ticket. There's already a lot of focus and energy already around President Trump, but I think his background, his rags to riches story. He was a combat veteran, very successful in business. But I think what's most important about his message is that he speaks for everyday Americans. Someone who grew up in a working class community, a blue collar community. Those are communities that we know here in the Central Valley. And so I think he brings that perspective. A lot of the debates that we have, whether it's in Sacramento or Washington, D.C., unfortunately and frustrating for me, focuses around urban centers. And so he brings that perspective, understanding the values of rural communities that we know here in the Central Valley.
Now, the former president is going to be speaking tonight. What are you hoping to hear from him?
Well, I think he's going to bring a unifying message, not only unifying Republicans, but unifying the country. Our country is in crisis. I think if we were to have a conversation just, at the local Starbucks, we can outline a laundry list of concerns, crises around the world. You look at crime, homelessness. You look at just the challenges of the affordability crisis, inflation. Everything is getting more expensive. You look at our electricity bills. You look at our gas prices. And so there's a lot of concern and anxiety around the country. I think President Trump will outline his vision. And the unique thing about this election going forward is that the average voter, the person concerned going into the ballot box in November can compare two presidencies. They can compare the 4 years under President Trump, and they can compare the 4 years under President Biden. And I would argue that we were fundamentally better off under President Trump, and we need to return back to those policies.
Can you get a sense of if people, I know it's a convention, but are they feeling a momentum shift? Do they feel optimistic about his chances in this matchup?
Well, there's certainly a lot of momentum. We are months away, and there's a lot of things that can happen. But for us right now, the momentum is certainly building. The debate performance between President Biden and President Trump, the contrast was clear. President Trump was a strong, energetic leader that laid out a vision for our country. And I think that momentum leading into the convention certainly has everyone energized. And I think you see that in the polling. You see that in just conversations with everyday Americans.
All right, Congressman Vince Fong, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. And great day. We'll be right back.